Hello, SUNY Schenectady Royals. Welcome to Grit, Persistence, and Growth Mindset. In this video, we will discuss how to develop grit to succeed in reaching your goals and the critical role having a growth mindset plays in the process. This presentation is based chiefly on the work of two American psychologists, Angela Duckworth and Carol Dweck. Both have written best-selling books about their research on grit and mindset, respectively. We will first discuss grit. In her book Grit, first published in 2016, Duckworth demonstrates through research findings that intelligence is not the main key to academic or other success. Instead, she has identified the key factor to be a quality that's a combination of passion and purpose, which she calls grit. Looking deeper into what contributes to success and achievement, Duckworth found that people may have talent in a given area. However, it would not amount to much or be a true skill without effort. Furthermore, you can grow your talent and skills with effort. And it is when you continue to develop your skills with consistent effort that you actually accomplish notable achievements. Duckworth defines grit as the sustained application of effort toward long-term goals fueled by passion and perseverance. She also found grit to be the biggest predictor for lifelong success and achievement. Duckworth applies the term grit to the characteristics of someone who pursues a focused interest over a long period of time, for example, an Olympic athlete, a concert violinist, or a renowned historian. However, the principles of grit can also be applied to student success. Duckworth details a four-step process for developing grit. First, develop an intense interest or fascination with a particular activity or endeavor. Second, strive to improve your knowledge and skill in this subject area every day. Third, integrate your passion with a higher purpose that does not just serve yourself. And fourth, develop a growth mindset about your ability to overcome obstacles and constantly improve. Let's take a closer look at each of these steps. First, develop a passion or fascination for something. This relates to having what Duckworth calls a top-level goal that reflects or supports your core values. Duckworth found for gritty people, many of their mid-level and low-level goals in some way or another relate to that ultimate goal. Their top-level goal is so interesting and important for them that it organizes a great deal of their waking activity. So, you're more likely to stick with a subject, job, hobby, etc. if you enjoy it or are interested in it, you are passionate about the process or the end product, you crave more knowledge about the subject. People perform better when they follow their passion or are invested in more than a paycheck. Fall in love and stay in love with the work that you do. You can cultivate your interest and love for the subject by studying and exploring it at a deeper level. Next, gritty people strive for continuous improvement in the areas they are passionate about. So, acknowledge where you're at, challenge yourself reasonably, put in the work, take pride in small victories just like you would large ones, and practice being deliberate and intentional with your actions. Duckworth found a common strategy among gritty people that she studied was what she calls deliberate practice. That is, they strived to improve specific weaknesses, intentionally seeking out challenges and setting stretch goals. For example, in her research, she found that students who advanced in the National Spelling Bee didn't just study lots of words. They figured out what types of words they were weak in and then focused a significant amount of their efforts on practicing spelling those words. Olympic swimmers didn't just swim lots of laps, they identified what techniques they needed to work on, then designed swim practices around improving in those areas. Duckworth's research also found that grittier people find much of their motivation from a desire to enrich or help others. In one of her surveys of over 16,000 American adults, she found that grittier people are dramatically more motivated than others to seek a meaningful, other-centered life, and that those who scored higher on having a sense of purpose also scored higher on her grit scale. So, find greater meaning in your day-to-day. You don't need to be religious or spiritual to do this. Link purpose to action. Establish short-term and long-term goals. Think about what you're trying to achieve. Why are you in college? Why do you do your job? How does this make an impact on more than just you? For this third point, strive to have your short-term goals support or connect to your long-term or top-level goals and to your core values. In her book Grit, Duckworth illustrates how one's perspective and purpose relate to motivation by recounting the parable of the bricklayers. You may have heard this parable before. 3 bricklayers are asked, "What are you doing?" The first says, "I'm laying bricks." The second says, "I'm building a church." The third says, "I am building the house of God." The first bricklayer has a job. The second has a career. The third has a calling. Duckworth found that the resilience gritty people have to persist and persevere through obstacles, their sense of hope, relates to their mindset. Her findings are supported by the research of another American psychologist, Carol Dweck. In 2006, Dweck published her bestseller, Mindset: The New Psychology of Success. Dweck's research on mindset has challenged the belief that intelligent people are born smart and that abilities, intelligence, and talents cannot be developed. She describes people who believe these basic qualities cannot be changed as having a fixed mindset, which creates in those individuals a sense of urgency to prove themselves, whereas people who have what Dweck has termed a growth mindset believe these basic qualities can be cultivated through their own efforts, strategies, and help from others. This belief in growth mindset creates a passion for learning. Dweck's research has demonstrated that people who have a growth mindset are more successful than those who don't. Similar to how grit can be developed, you can develop a growth mindset and experience more success with your endeavors. This graphic by Nigel Holmes on the right contrasts the thoughts, behaviors, and outcomes of people with a fixed versus a growth mindset. Having a fixed mindset leads to a desire to look smart and therefore a tendency to avoid challenges, get defensive or give up easily, see effort as fruitless or worse, ignore useful negative feedback, and feel threatened by the success of others. As a result, these people with fixed mindset may plateau early and achieve less than their full potential. Whereas in contrast, having a growth mindset leads to a desire to learn and therefore a tendency to embrace challenges, persist in the face of setbacks, see effort as the path to mastery, learn from criticism, find lessons and inspiration in the success of others. And as a result, they reach ever higher levels of achievement. The main points from this presentation we'd like to leave you with are: effort and perseverance outweigh natural talent. Talent is just a baseline or starting point. Don't let the talent of others intimidate you. You are always growing and able to improve your abilities. Stamina is key. Grit isn't just hard work, but continuous work, just like a marathon. There are no shortcuts to excellence. Thanks for watching this video. We hope you found it helpful and will be able to use some of the strategies presented to pursue your studies with grit and a growth mindset. If you want to learn more strategies to help you succeed in college, check out the other videos from Student Support Services posted on SUNY Schenectady's Tips and Strategies for Student Success webpage. Click on the link at the bottom of this slide or look in the YouTube description of this video for the link to this webpage. And of course, be sure to meet with student support staff to discuss personalized success strategies to help you reach your educational goals.